And we're back. So when I'm pulling my tape up, I want to go at a low bank angle. Nothing like a 90-degree angle like this, but just a light kind of slowly trying to peel it up, because what we're hoping is that the strain gauge is going to stick to the tape and not the glass, so that way we can transport it over to our beam, okay? So I've got my strain gauge attached to my tape. This is where I am going to transfer it to my beam. So you're going to pull your beam back over. Find those marker pieces that indicate where you're wanting to place your strain gauge. Try to get that in your view there. And it's really hard to see, but there are some little triangles right here on this, like in the middle of the strain gauge. And you can try to position your markers with those arrows, and that'll help you to kind of get it as straight as possible. It doesn't have to necessarily be perfect, but it'll help it to appear straight and give you a little bit more working room to deal with it, okay? All right, so now that we've got it positioned where we want, and if it's not where you want it, it's fine. You can pick your tape back up and it should come right back off. Don't push down like I did and it should come right back off. So I want to go ahead and kind of create a little flap here with my tape, because I'm going to want to peel it back off later. So in order to help me peel it back off, if I fold an edge down on each side, then it'll be easier to get off of my beam later on. So I would recommend folding a corner down on each side, or wrinkling it somehow so that way it's easier to get back up. Now that we have our position the way we like it, we're going to peel it back up ever so lightly, just a little bit. Now I like to peel it up just about 5 or 6 millimeters below the strain gauge, and then if you got a big enough piece of tape, you can turn it upside down and stick it to itself so it stays back out of the way. So now we're ready to add our catalyst, and this is in a glass bottle. The liquid appears to be blue, maybe purple. It has a black lid. You don't need much of this, but this will help the curing process for our glue to occur faster, which is what we want. So again, it doesn't take very much of this. You can scrape the brush off on the edges of the bottle, and then I'm going to apply a little bit onto the beam directly, just where I think my strain gauge is going to be applied. And then you can also apply a little to the back side of the strain gauge itself. And we want to give this about 60 seconds or a minute to dry. So if you have a cell phone handy, you can set a timer. I'm using my cell phone right now to video record, so we're just going to kind of estimate. But give yourself about a minute for that to dry, and then we will add the adhesive.